chance that the circle is going to come over there. So they're going to have to figure out at some point, when do they make the play? Do they extricate themselves from military base island, or do they take the risk? Do they take the gamble and wait for it and pray everybody has to come to them? This is kind of what we were talking about beforehand about that adaptation and how do you choose to play PUBG.
Team 19 under no pressure right now, but are going to be taking some early zone damage. They've completed their loot phase, and now they have to make their way in. They're actually the furthest away from the zone, all the way on the western side, and that's going to be an issue for them. Taking that early damage, especially on the side of the play zone where there's going to be so much pressure, so many teams making the entry. And look at this, we got a fight happening on the roads. It's Team 14 that took them down.
Getting everybody out of that motorcycle. Look at this, just getting some nice shots onto it, and they aren't done. They aren't even stopping for this. They don't care. They're continuing the hunt. Now it looks like we saw somebody jump out of the motorcycle. Are they going to capitalize based off of it, though?
Team 14 cruising by. They did take one down. They're not going to finish, as you said. Team 11 might be able to res their teammate, but Team 14 not out of the woods yet. That's Team 11 trying to support, taking those long distance shots, nothing landing super hard to hit a vehicle on the move like that.
Well, it's what we talk about with control inside of PUBG Mobile, is once you kind of lay down and you claim your zone, you have to make sure you hit some shots, you scare everybody away from moving into your safe zone. You kind of create this bubble around you. So you want to make sure that anybody that's coming on vehicles, on foot, they take as much damage as humanly possible, or at least just hear loud enough noises to scare them away and make somebody else go somewhere.
Rejoining with Team 12, looks like they're going to have some friends, or at least with each other for a little while, as they found a nice center position to work with. Up in Milta, it's Team 5, trying to continue their loot stage. I think they want to get on this vehicle, this UAZ, and get away from here. As most teams making their way in now, the early rotation, and for those wondering, rotation phase, when everyone's in their vehicles and moving around, the first one is about to complete.
Usually it's that moment once the blue zone starts making its way in, everybody just hops into their vehicles, repositions based off of it. But with a couple of these teams in vehicles very late, they could opt into the moment the new safe zone pops up, just
keep driving,
beelining straight towards it. We can see that those guys that were down around farm, everybody's kind of making their way up towards that school apartments area, but the circle does shift back over towards Milta Power Prison in that general vicinity. So now we're going to see a lot of people that are specifically in the northern part of the circle going to just have to book it back down to this area, because if they want to get a good position, there's not, I wouldn't say a ton of places for this many teams at this stage.
Look at that area around the Razak and into the zone. There's so many players coming in rotation there, and that's going to be a big factor. Early fights are going to happen. There's a lot of chance for third-party fights where maybe you're engaged with one team and another team shows up to engage you as well. And that's going to be an issue on that side of the zone.
And don't forget, we do have Team 12 and Team 2 that's presently right next to school. There is a red zone that's coming down, and that's going to slow them down. We talked about these rotation phases, making your way in early, specifically trying to carve out that area of the map. When you have the red zone that kind of falls onto you, you kind of bide your time and you hang out inside the buildings, and that doesn't give you a chance to jump out in the vehicles. And sometimes the red zone even takes away your vehicles from you, so now you're on foot having to trek it into dangerous territory.
Got to wonder if anyone's going to try and make a play for the crate that's out in that school field area. Bit of a dangerous maneuver considering how many players are there. But that northwestern side is just rife with teams. They're all coming through now, just trying to find any information through vehicles or otherwise.
Well, I think that kind of defines PUBG. We've had a lot of conversations about how we talk about PUBG and PUBG Mobile. Is specifically, it's a risk assessment game more than anything else. Like whenever we see these crates that are sitting out, it's like, okay, what can I get out of this, and what are the risks involved? So naturally, the very first thing you look up, 73 people still alive, crate hanging out in the middle of nowhere that anybody around it would have seen. You kind of go, maybe I'll save that one for later.
Joining in with Team 13 in the boat, trying to find their way to the main island. Looks like they should have an easy way in. No immediate contest on the coastline. Team 5 is the closest, but they wouldn't be able to see them from where they're standing.
And I like the position that they may be moving to. If they move that little peninsula that's kind of hanging out down over there, you make landfall over there, and then you don't have to worry about anybody encroaching from back behind you. So you really only have to focus on anybody that moves into your tunnel of vision. And when you can focus that many players on one direction, anybody that makes their way in a car or whatever just takes so much damage.
Joining in with Team 16, they've taken some zone damage. You can see the health bar is kind of low there. They've also got a team above them. Team 14 in the dossier looking back their way. This could be a factor. Team 14 is not willing to get aggressive, but they've got the zone advantage. They're moving in slowly. Team 7 still in Lipovka. they've had their aggressors leave and maybe giving them the opportunity to also escape Lipovka. It's still in the zone, but not by much, as we see that northern and center side. And Matchroom, we had the question earlier, will he be playing the center or will he be playing the edge? And it looks like that center strategy going to be prevalent here.
Yeah, center seems to be king with everybody's mindset. You got a couple of people that are playing edge, but right now we're looking through, it's like we're about 6 different teams that have already just beelined it directly into the center and at touching range of each other, but not really getting caught into too many skirmishes. You can tell that they've played a lot. Everybody at this point had to play a ton of PUBG Mobile to make it to this stage. We talked about how meat grinder it was just to make it to this stage. Everybody's playing off of all the things that they learned through those qualifiers. You can tell a little bit more safety, playing for a position, making sure to use the numbers to your advantage. So many great lessons inside of this round so far.
Looking at Team 13, they've opted to run in on foot, no vehicles for them. This Milta region's only got a couple of teams, and you know, we've seen this in other levels of PUBG esports, where that first stage of the game is more about finding the best possible position. Yeah. And it looks like that's the case here, where most teams not opting to engage early. That conservative play style, that concern for having a good first game is at the forefront of every team, except for the one that got eliminated first. But for those with the will to get out there and find these crates, that advantage would be a massive one, especially around the center area.
Well, I mean, we all love the violence that PUBG Mobile can bring sometimes, but whenever you're playing for it, it at its core is a survival game, and that's kind of, you can tell that once you get to this level, we talk about this a lot, Moses, is that trying to play for those survival positions are the big factor in it. And I gotta say, one of the things I find interesting is the amount of people that are opting into all into one vehicle. It's just PUBG things. It's fine. We've all seen this kind of happen.
That's a special ability there. Anyway, they're getting pressure, they're getting fire now. Team 14 has seen the magical UAS floating by, and they want to take a piece of that, rejoining Team 17. They found themselves just outside the prison, the center of the map. They've got some nice control. This compound pivotal, and they've got friends arriving. Team 11 has arrived right next door. Team 17 may be aware of this, but the shots ring out. Taking a look now, Team 11 maybe being surprised, trying to skirt around the northern side, and they're not going to stay.
Okay, I got a question for you, Moses. If you have to make a rotation, do you let a guy named Ass Killer sit behind you in the car?
Well, it depends on your trust level, I suppose.
All right, back over here with everybody's kind of posted up. You can see the way that the map plays out the direct time. Crate smack dab in the middle of Lumberyard. Nobody's really made their way up there. Not too surprising. Everybody still has their vehicles, and that's kind of a hard terrain to make a way up to. But it does look like Team 7 is opting into that. So new circle's about to update. We're going to see where we're going to go. We still have a lot of water in play.
This is the stage now. These teams have been playing so passively, trying to avoid fights, but the circle's going to get even smaller now, and there's so many players alive. This is going to be a big factor. Look at how small that zone is. Yeah. So that eastern side is now going to be filling with players. Team 6 and Team 10 are sharing a compound. This is just to the north of the prison.
And this is almost like who goes first. You can see that Team 6, they want to make their way towards that car. They're hiding out behind the doors. They know that there's another team there. Whoever moves first can take the most risk here. You don't want to lose the dossier at this stage. You need it. You're at the edge of the circle.
If Ace decides to go on a flank here, this might be the play. He's looking for information. He's playing defense for his team, not allowing Team 10 to get anything started as far as a flank is concerned. But Team 10 is deciding to stay on the interior of the building, just trying to get poke damage. There's just nothing happening for them. So for Team 6 on the outside, they have now a little bit of a more vision, but look at this, Hitman has gone down.
Window-to-window shots coming through to knock down Hitman. So that's going to be a potential moment for him, but you can tell, Team 10, they don't want to capitalize. They just want to flush it. They hit the shots. Beautiful angle coming through there. Now what do? They've got the numbers advantage. They have control. A little bit of damage coming back.
Another one down.
Wolf goes down.
Another one down.
This is starting to go real bad for F4. How are they going to make a play off this? What are they going to do? Right now, they're just playing a little bit too passive. They're surrendering too much.
So many shots coming in.
Everywhere they go, they can't seem to figure out where the bullets are coming from.
Now it's only up to one. They're getting full pressed. It's going to be an issue now for them to try and defend. Team 10 wants this thing. They're coming on the inside of the house now. They've decided to come and press the advantage. There's one left, and it looks like they're going to try and get him down and out. F4 in a world of hurt.
Looks like they have complete control over this now. They managed to wipe out near on everybody on the other side of it. So, popping back over here with Team 19 now. They're a little bit closer towards the circle. We're back over in that farm area. So, they managed to get themselves a nice little building. Decent vision lines. You just got to be careful of the hill that's coming down back behind you. But another bad neighborhood we have posted up now with Team 8 and Team 14 right next door.
I don't think they have to move too far. These teams finding themselves in the zone, albeit on the northern side. So many trying to make entry now. We've already started to see some kills come out. And look at that long distance shot.
Well, usually this ends up being the moment. Once you get that down, if you want to make the play for it, this is when you do the hard press, because you know that potentially one person's going to be in the process of doing the res,
right.
So you have essentially a 2v4 style situation. But this is something we haven't had a chance to see yet. A little bit of a skirmish that's going to be happening right next to a red zone. Red zone fades out in a way. We've got Team 12 right down the hillside, but Team 15 hiding out in a shack. Are they going to capitalize off of this? You can see Team 12 looks like they're in their vehicles, manage to separate out.
They're going to leave.
Make their
motion.
Motion.
It looks like Team 12 doesn't want to take this hillside fight. You got to remember that third-person advantage. You can use that camera, spin it around, and see where everybody is. Team 15 maybe recognizing that it's safe is going to emerge from their communal shack, as it were. Meanwhile, Team 14 and Team 8 still jousting. We did see one of the players from Team 8 go down relatively early on in that skirmish. And it looks like Team 14 is going to go for a push here. They're coming across the way. They have now entry into the buildings. The utility is already out. If they don't get punished on the cross, this could be an interior fight. Team 8 now on the defensive. They're going to have to worry about team pressing them across the way. Team 14 trying to find a foothold. They have one on the outside. They got maybe an angle into the windows, Matt.
Look at this. I love it. They've kind of surrendered the entirety of the first floor, so they're just holding the stairwell. And the other team knows this. So Team 14 is kind of repositioning around the outside to a certain degree to try to hit any shots on anybody that's through these windows.
Ooh.
Nades are starting to come down now. You can see all the utilities starting to be burned. But this is the angle. If anybody can hit any shots to break down this first defense breach point,
one good
it's
nade.
going to start going sideways, and here it's starting to come. It's starting to get a little bit messy as Team 14 gets one person down.
They trade 1 for 1 from the looks of it. I did see a nade land, and now they're going to try and breach the stairwell as a squad. They're going to go up one at a time. The pressure comes down. One will go down. The team is not going to get the trade there. And so for Team 8, they have the advantage. The finish now coming. The Molly's on the ground. He's on fire. He doesn't realize he's going down.
These beautiful nades come through from the outside of this. Look at this, lots of damage coming through. Now what does Team 14 do? It's 2 downs to 2 downs, but they just get instantly
snipe from long distance.
So now what do? One person left. You got the chain reses that are happening towards the top. It looks like full on defensive. Jumping back out and around. Is he going to go for a flank? Is he going to try to finish this off? Does he see the angle? He's trying to make the play off of this. Actually just going to hop in the Dacia.
No. He left his teammates behind.
Left his teammates to die. Harry runs up there and mops it up. He lost the Dacia, but man, he got some kills.
That was a good start there. I mean, we saw some really nice sniping happening. I'm not sure if that was Team 14 landing those shots or if that was from across the way. Regardless, that was a nice interior fight there, but ultimately one team comes out the victor.
See, a lot of positions starting to shrink down. Like you were talking about, there's just not enough space. We're just seeing so many kills come through. Now Team 17 trying to make their way in. They've got Team 19 holding down 2 different buildings, and you can see from the distance,
one at a time.
Squad 13 that's third-partying into this and just dropping everybody.
This is Nova just taking some long-distance shots. He's done a lot of damage. Meanwhile, 17 and 19 looks like Team 17's in trouble. Now they're trying to get a trade, but it's not going to happen. Team 17 getting cleaned up here. Team 19 is just taking it to him one at a time, and there is the finish. And there's now a couple of teams getting eliminated here in the mid-game.
It's just gotten to a dangerous stage now. You can see right on the outside of the safe zone, there's Team 13 just paying attention. They need to make their move in. They were trying to capitalize off of this third-party fight so that way they could really make some type of play based off of it. They're right on the outskirts of it. Looks like they've decided into a hard crash, and they're just running straight in at
Team 13 wants it.
They want this fight. They feel like they've done enough damage that they've got them weak enough, and they're trying to hit the sprays back and forth on this. You can see it's going to be Team 13 that gets the first down onto it. A lot of damage back onto Team 19, but they're trying to capitalize off of it. You can see Team 13 still running as a pack, holding on that angle. 2 people can kind of defend while one goes back for the res, get the teammate up. We still have members of Team 17 that's trying to interact in this, trying to deny the last member of Team 19 to make their way over.
Team 19 had one in the other building trying to fight with Team 17, but look at that, there's the exterior flank. One goes down, the finish comes out, and he will be finished off very quickly. And now it looks like Team 19 has got their work cut out for them. There's more members flushing. They're just spraying randomly and gets another one down. This is looking good for Team 19. They're just crushing.
Snipe Down just running at this stage, realized everything has gone bad, trying to hop in the Dacia, and bullets are just going down, and Snipe Down goes down and out. Team 19 just surviving through the onslaught at this stage. Speaking of onslaughts, look at the other side of the map. We've got Team 12 4, and 3 all stacked up on top of each other, right, maybe 100 meters away from each other, and pot shots going back and forth as one goes down.
Yeah, Chiefs landing a snipe through the window on the top building of the barn there, so that's a nice looking shot. And now we're going to see yet another circle shift, and this is where things start to get absolutely insane. Look at how small that circle is. Almost every team is outside the zone. They're all going to have to crash the middle. And there's a couple of squads in there that are looking good. Teams 3, 4, and 12 all find themselves in the play zone. Just trying to run now. This is actually Team 7 caught outside the zone, and this is a problem for them. They're pretty far, and they have to run.
They have a ways to go. They're back over here in Milton. Everybody's been fighting around farm at this stage. Meanwhile, we got the guys from Gods. They're just kind of hanging out, like, okay, we'll slowly make our way through. They do find themselves a Jeep, so they should be able to make their way. God's Reign still running just with a few people remaining. Now then, this is where it's going to start getting a little bit contested. 47 people alive, Moses, 14 teams. I'm willing to bet on this next circle, this transition, we're going to see that drop by about half.
Yeah, there's going to be a lot of death here happening pretty soon. 16, Team 2, Team 9, there's just all these teams lining the edge. And look at this, Team 12 has decided they want to get involved. They're going to be pressing the barn. We've seen this already start. Team 12 is just going to gain free entry into the building. Team 4 is playing super defensive.
It's good to try to play defensive to a certain degree, but when you have this many people swarming around you, you're playing off that angle, you're just not getting the information.
Team 12
so you
nading.
don't know where it's going to come through. All right, so you can start to see the hard push coming up. Just
They've already got them weakened.
They're already inside of this, just stepping up and spraying them down. You can't do that. You have to keep an eye on those angles.
Those nades came in, weakened up the interior of the building, and they came in for an easy team wipe. Rejoining Team 16, they're starting to get more interested in Team 2 as well as Team 9.
Team 2 is in a terrible spot right now. They have 2 different squads caught up in between them. They don't even have buildings. They're just playing around walls and crates at this rate, just trying to stay alive. You can tell the fact that if Team 9 decides to sweep in behind this is just going to be terrible for Team 2.
And this is looking more or less like they don't want to press too far. Team 12, having just wiped out the Chiefs, is collecting the proceeds of their victory. They're grabbing as many ammo, meds, all the equipment they can. Team 4 has been watching this happen right next door, but they're not willing to do anything about it. And now it's up to Team 12. Do they want to take that momentum from that fight and continue to take it to Team 4? It's barn-to-barn action right now. The U.S. blocking the interior on the 1 entry. So for Team 4, you have to wonder if they're going to press you, but the circle's now closing, and now the options are over. Team 2 is stuck in the blue. They're going to be running and trying to make a go of it, but there's 1 left for Team 9. This is not looking good for Team 2. A lot of damage coming in from the blue.
And they have a ways to go, still about 100 meters or so, and they're just going to be running into everybody that's already gotten position. They did manage to survive through everything, but good Lord, just like you were talking about, Moses, so many squads starting to intersect or in that northern area as everybody's shrinking down. And even back down towards those barns we were looking at, new circle pops. Our barn people down next to the beach are going to have to reposition, but look, it's deadly over here.
Team 11 got caught by the blue. They've also got Team 17 right on top of them, and they're taking shots very early here. Team 19 also sees Team 11 getting eviscerated 1 at a time. There's only 1 left. They took 1 out of the vehicle, but there's so many players here, they can't move.
Lee can see this, trying to make his way back over to his teammates that are just across the road, but there are so many bullets coming this direction, there's no easy path for him to make. So it's all going to be about utility. How many smokes does he have? What type of plays can he make off of it? This is back over here at this fight we've been watching for a while. Keep in mind, these guys are not inside the safe zone.
It's Team 9 making a breach for Team 4, and there's Team 12. This is a 4-way team fight. There's 2 teams breaching 2 separate buildings. Team 4 trying to defend, Team 9 trying to res, but Team 14 trying to eliminate Team 12. There's this barn area is
Maybe,
12, they need the kill points.
Never slow down's got to live up to their name, but no! It's going to be Team 4 that pops in the back, and everyone dies.
And that's what happens when you get stuck on the edge of the zone in a team fight, and just like that, we are down to the top 5 teams, and the circle continues to shrink. Team 19 did sneak their way in. Only one guy. Just one guy.
That one guy definitely managed to sneak his way in, but right next to a squad of 4 people, that's going to be squad 16 that's up. We have 5 teams up and active with 11 people alive. If you're a 4-man squad, you feel great right now.
This is the case for some of these teams, Team 18 specifically. They have one down, they're having some pressure come in their way, but they can get the res off and be very, very strongly positioned here. They do have Team 11 nearby, but not really a threat just yet. They're down below them. Team 16 across the way. Team 18 very interested in what they're doing. They're just taking a couple of shots, trying to see if they can get anything to land. But now this is kind of the late stage, and very quickly we only have 11 players left. Team 19 at the disadvantage with only 1 player. Matchroom, this is going to be a case between who can hit the shots first.
You can see that the way the circle is broken down. Well, we know who can hit shots based off of that one right there. Solo now goes out, so we got squad 18 that does have circle favor right now. Squad 10's right next to him, and you can see squad 16, they're trying to make their press across it. They need to hit a little bit of damage, and that's what they needed. You can see force 18 out of the windows. Don't allow them to get the information. Try to make this cross. They still have about 20 meters they need to make it.
This is a good play. They've left one in the building to try and snipe and keep pressure as the rest of them try and press forward. The utility is out. This is team play, but it's costing them. They're stuck in the open. SO9 getting taken down one at a time. Team 18's got the advantage. They have the blue at their back. It's a shooting gallery. They can't move. They're stuck in the zone.
There's got the smokes, but it's just not enough cover. It's just spray after spray going in after him. Team 16's trying to figure out how they can make it.
Circle's coming.
Matrix is right up on the edge of the tree. He
they
just wants to make it a little bit further, but the whole time, the last remaining member from Team 10 manages to make it towards landfall, but nowhere to go for Team 16 now. Just one person up and alive.
It's up to Matrix. He's got to take this now into his hands. His team is being killed all around him. There's nothing he can do. Team 18 is looking good here. They have a control of this game. There's only 7 left alive. They've got the victory within sight. Matrix is down, but he's got one down. He's got one down on the other side. He's got the angles. Does he have the aim? They're meting. They're trying to res. Off to the left, you have Team 10. There's one left standing there as well. He could play a factor. This is a top 3 situation.
No. The 2 solos are now starting to make their way next to the same area. If they see each other, they can essentially do the work that Team 18 wants. They have the numbers advantage. They have control of a great building. Nobody really wants to push this as a solo. You can see it's just Team 10 holding this side angle right now with another neighboring solo. How is this going to play out? We can see everybody's trying to just collect information at this stage.
This is a situation where he just has to wait. I mean, the 2 solos are right next to each other. Matrix is looking to see maybe he can try and clean up and get a top 2 position. That's a big difference in points. He's sneaking. He's trying to be as careful as possible. And there it is, but he's not going to get found. He will get spotted and taken down, and just like that, SO9 will be eliminated. But this is looking now like a very uphill battle. The last man standing from Team 10. He's got 4 players left to kill.
And they're coming alive. Look, they heard it. They heard where the firefight's happening at. Everybody from Terrifying Nightmares is trying to make their way down. They are just flanking him from every angle.
He's got one.
He gets caught from behind. Gets taken down.
There it is. The victory comes through on the back of some nice play. The team of Torpedo, Amit, Sakira, and Anandpuri take down the victory in game number 1 with a lot of kills as well. That's a good start for them.
Terrifying Nightmares coming in and making a nightmare of this lobby and scaring everybody. I gotta say, a great performance coming inside the first round. I love the way they played that insert.
Well, that was our first game, Matt, and that was a pretty intense round where we saw a lot of players, unfortunately, maybe getting a little bit too nervous and not thinking ahead. They got stuck in a battle. So many died to the blue zone there.
That's a big factor inside of this. You have to, you want to play for it. You want to make sure you get all your loot. But if you loot goblin a little bit too much, that blue's just going to do a little bit too much damage. Everybody's going to circle in and just catch you on your rotations.
Well, if you're the Nightmares, that's a good start to this round, this tournament. That's the first victory with a decent amount of kills. And now you have to be thinking that this is momentum for them. They're going to take this forward.
Oh, at this point, without a doubt, this is what you want. You want to come in game 1, you want to make a statement, and you want to let everybody know, okay, we're here to win this thing. We're the people you have to fight. We're the people that you have to contend with, and it just makes you feel good.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it was a factor there where I think they had a really good, solid position. but they also knew how to use it.
Yeah.
I have to give a shout out for Team 16. I didn't catch the team name there, but they had a nice utility push where they were trying to get into the zone. They did their best, but there was just too much happening for them. And really, it was just a very tough ending push.
You could see that they tried to lay out as much smoke as they could. They were trying to get some type of cross, and it was just bullet spray that just caught them from everywhere. And so many different people, like little snakes that were hiding out in those rotations, just caught them out unaware.
I mean, that's a situation in PUBG Mobile where you have to use your positional advantage as best you can. You can't just be running around or you'll get punished. These guys are all very high-level players. They qualified through so many to get here, and you can't give them the time and space to take random shots at you or you're going to get punished.
Well, I mean, we saw that as a perfect example towards the end of that round. Whenever the Terrifying Nightmares, 4-man strong, here's the firefight between the two solos, and it's like, nope, this is it. We know we have the numbers advantage. All of them leave the safety, hit 2 different angles, and just catch him and tear apart the last player.
Really good game. I mean, looking forward to game number 2 now. Do you think that the mentality of these players is going to change?
Well, I think it's going to be interesting to see how many different teams learn from this first round, because that's really what you need to take away from. Every single time you play in an event like this in a LAN-based environment, you have your first round, you learn from it, then you take your tools and you bring it back in. We said, PUBG's about adaptation. One round can't be your death knell. You've got to learn from it.
And I mean, if it's adaptation on one end, it's consistency on the other. So when you play with consistency, trying to minimize the odds of having to move too much. And we saw that in the initial stage of this game where so many teams were getting forced to the edge of the zone, and then they would get stuck in a fight and they can't move.
Yeah.
And then you have 2 enemies. You have the blue zone on one hand, you have the people in front of you on the other.
And so with this, I believe that we have an interview set down with the Terrifying Nightmares, so we're going to go ahead and throw it to our hosts. You guys take it away.
Well, end of round 1, the winners who knocked down 19 other teams, the Terrifying Nightmares. They're already giving nightmares to the rest of them. But you guys, first of all, they're from Mumbai, so make some noise. I'm from Mumbai too. So I'm really stoked already about this. Take us through your journey from the qualifiers till today.
Actually, in the qualifiers, we weren't pretty confident about our team. That's true. But then all of us, we played well. Our chemistry was good. Everything went good. Luck was there. So we made it to the finals. Quarterfinals was pretty difficult. We thought we wouldn't make it to the finals because we made huge mistakes in the quarterfinal. But we learned from our mistakes. That's the main thing. And we did that. And today we are here. And we won the first match. And we hope we are constant.
But tell me one thing. Why is it you're looking so restless? Yeah. Okay. So
excited.
Guys,
I think he's really excited.
You have just won 1 game right now. So who do you think is your opponent in the finals? Who do you think is a strong team and give a good competition to you?
First, I think Squad 99 and F4. That's it.
Hey, you're from Mumbai. You should say we are the best.
We are the best.
Yeah, that's about it. Can we have a huge round of applause for Terrifying Nightmares.
And you guys have done a fabulous job. Please give them a big round of applause, guys. Make it louder. And you guys celebrate your moment of victory, and we will get back to you in the next game. Thank you so much.
Yes. But before you leave, don't let it get to your head because 4 more rounds to go. All the very best, and all the very best to the rest of you too. Getting back to our people out here, as we promised you, the 2 of you who at the end of the first round, the activity that we had, and you won, I want you to run up on stage. I didn't get your names earlier. Come on. Come on, if you repeat the act for us.
The guy who lifted.
If you repeat the act for us, will be nice.
And also the guy who was being lifted.
Lift him up. Oh, come on.
Lift him up right now. Come on, there we go. Yeah. Sweet. Okay, you know what? Looking at your energy levels, we were so happy. So instead of giving a 1 phone, we have doubled it up. We are giving you 2 phones.
So at the end of every round, each of you win 2 phones. 2 lucky winners end of every round.
Congratulations. So you're not just going to be calling his phone. You're going to be using your own OPPO F9 Pro and calling your buddy on the same phone. Please give them a big round of applause, guys.
Yeah, that's about it.
Thank you so much, and we will get back to you there.
Thank you so
with
much,
the
hearty congratulations.
gifts. Thank you.
And from here, we head into a quick break. But you guys stay tuned because I told you this is going to be insanity to next level. But keep the energy level going and keep the smiles on too. We'll see you in a short while from now.
Thank you. Over to the break.